Our thoughts are the internal voice. It's the inner voice that we carry everywhere we go, as it's from within us. It's the internal dialogue. It's the conversations we have with ourselves, about ourselves, how we encourage ourselves and how we discourage ourselves, if that's what we do. It's the conversations we have with our mind. In all situations, these are the thoughts that we have. Thoughts are the internal voice. Today I want to talk about why it's so important that our internal voice is positive and empowering and lifts us up. So what is the origin of the internal voice? Most of the time, the internal voice origin is childhood. So the people that we were around when we were children, what they would say to us, what we would hear, that became our internal voice. The voices that we first heard became our internal voice. If we came from a negative environment, it's likely that we would have a negative internal voice because we only heard negative things. If we came from a positive environment, we would have a positive internal voice because we heard mostly positive things. I think with everybody, it's a range, so it can vary. Nobody has 100% positive thoughts. Nobody has 100% negative thoughts all the time. But what we want to do is increase the ratio. If we have mostly negative thoughts, we want to convert it to mostly positive thoughts. So it's shifting the ratio to increase the level to which we have positive thoughts over negative, because we're not perfect. There will be times where we don't think positively. But it's about improving ourselves each day, and that's what I want to talk about today. How we can improve our mental, our thoughts, what we think about, and also why it's so important, because the thoughts are so powerful. How we think is so powerful. And if we just know how powerful it is and acknowledge the weight that it has, then we can actually take the actions to improve our mental dialogue and our internal dialogue that we have with ourselves when we know the gravity of the thoughts and the internal voice. So why do our thoughts matter? There's so many reasons why our thoughts matter. And I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why our thoughts really matter, because thoughts are everything. They're so important. When you hear these points that I'm about to say, you're going to realize I need to check my thoughts. If they're not already positive, I need to get them to be more positive. We're going to also talk about how we can make them more positive as well. So I'm going to talk about why it's important, why our thoughts matter, and then I'm going to talk about how we can improve our thoughts and be more positive overall and be kinder to ourselves and be compassionate towards ourselves and give ourselves love. Because essentially, we are only with ourselves. So it's very important that the internal voice is a loving, kind, compassionate, and positive one rather than a negative one. Why our thoughts matter? Our thoughts matter because our DNA responds to our thoughts and the emotions that the thoughts create. What happens is the brain interprets negative thoughts as stress, which increases the levels of cortisol that we have in the brain and in the body. High cortisol can cause illness over time. So basically, in other words, negative thoughts equals illness. So this is why it's very important for us to have positive thoughts. If we have negative ones, change them to be more positive, because we don't want our thoughts to be the reason why we get ill. Obviously, illness is something that to some degrees we can control, to some degrees we can't control. But if it's our thoughts are something that we can control. So realizing that and allowing that to be a thing that we know, okay, we can work on our thoughts. That can help us to no longer allow ourselves to go down the journey and the spiral of illness. So our DNA responds to our thoughts and the emotions that the thoughts create, and it affects the functioning of the DNA, leading to all types of illnesses. So this is what we need to remember. Negative thoughts cause illness, and this is why our thoughts matter. We need to remember that. So that was point number 1 as to why our thoughts matter. Negative thoughts cause illness. Point number 2 on why our thoughts matter is negative thoughts also cause aging. How it works is that DNA is inside chromosomes. And at the end of the chromosomes, there's something called the telomere. The telomere, which is basically at the end of the chromosome, and it protects the chromosome. Basically, the telomere at the end of the chromosome protects the chromosome. It's a protective cap. And it protects the chromosomes from being damaged. what happens is the telomere is affected by negative and toxic thoughts we might have, and the emotions that come from those negative thoughts. And why this leads to aging is because the telomere shortens with age. So if the telomere already shortens with age and negative thoughts actually affect the telomere, then we're actually speeding up the process to which the telomeres get shorter with age. So negative emotions speed up the aging process by damaging the telomere, which is already shortening with age. So this is why our thoughts matter. Obviously, we love aging. Aging is a beautiful thing. It's something that we all welcome. We love aging, but if we realize that our thoughts can speed up the age process, it's not something we want to take part in. So acknowledging, okay, yes, my thoughts can literally make me age. My negative thoughts could make me age. That should make us be like, okay, we need to switch those thoughts and make them positive so that we can just keep looking young and beautiful by thinking positive things about ourselves. So that was point number 2 as to why it's important, why our thoughts matter. Point number 3 as to why our thoughts matter is because what we say to ourselves is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And the body hears and listens to what we tell ourselves. So if we affirm something negative, it's very likely for it to happen. There's power in the tongue. There's power in what we say. It says in the Bible, life and death is in the power of the tongue. If what we're saying to ourselves causes death, then it's going to happen. If we say negative things like, I can't be successful, how am I going to be successful? Oh my God, I can't do this. Oh my God, I'm so ugly. If we say this, our body listens and it'll be like, okay, maybe I won't be successful. It will start to believe that, and then you'll start acting in that way. So our thoughts actually initiate our actions, and our actions is what we use to be successful in life. So if you want to be successful, if you want to be beautiful, if you want to have there could be so many things that you want in this life. Your thoughts is where it begins. The thoughts drive the actions. That's what we need to remember. The thoughts drive the actions, and the actions is literally what helps us to be successful. This is why thoughts lead to destiny. Thoughts lead to destiny because it causes illness if they're negative. It causes aging if they're negative, and we won't achieve what we want to achieve in our lives if our thoughts are negative, because our actions are initiated, our actions follow our thoughts. It starts from the thought first before we act. So if we think negative, we act negative. If we think we can't do something, we just won't do it. So positive thoughts, saying positive things to ourselves actually helps us to take action and to achieve what we want to in our lives. And affirming positive things is key to self-belief, because belief is everything. Belief is how things get done. And that comes from positive thoughts and positive self-belief, where you say, I can do this. I believe in myself. Not, oh no, I can't do this. I don't believe in myself. Oh, this is going to be hard for me. This is going to be impossible. You say, this is possible for me. I will do this. I can do this. So that's the third point, which is thoughts create actions, and actions is how you succeed in life. So it's very important that our thoughts are positive and empowering so that we can actually go on to achieve everything we want to achieve in life. So just to summarize the 3 reasons why our thoughts matter. Negative thoughts cause disease and illness. It affects the functioning of the DNA, and that leads to all sorts of illnesses. Negative thoughts cause aging. It affects the telomere at the end of the chromosome that protects the DNA, speeding up the aging process. And then finally, our thoughts matter because our body hears what we say, and our actions come from our thoughts. And if we want to go on to succeed in life, we need to check our thoughts so that we can actually take action in alignment with what we want to do. So now I'm going to talk about how we can counteract negative thoughts that we've had in the past that have potentially caused illness in our bodies that we don't even know about, and how generally we can start to have positive thoughts and empower ourselves to achieve everything we want in life, empower ourselves to age gracefully by having positive thoughts, and also save ourselves from getting illnesses that we might not have got if we just had positive thinking. One way to really counteract negative thoughts and the potential illness that may have caused in our body that we're not aware of is meditation. It has been shown that meditation actually lengthens the telomere of the chromosome. So basically, it can reverse aging. Meditation and mindfulness reverses aging. Mindfulness meditation, where you basically just relax yourself, deep breathing, And you can visualize something, or you can just listen to calm music and regulate your nervous system by deep breathing and relaxation. That can actually heal your body when you're in a relaxed state, because the negative thoughts cause stress, which increases your cortisol, and you're in a stressful environment. So reversing that by initiating and actively creating a relaxing environment, it can really help you to go on to heal your body and to regulate every aspect of yourself which has been potentially disrupted by the negative thoughts. Reading is another really good one on how we can go on to now have positive thoughts by reading. So we read positive books, we read affirmations, we read empowering books of self-belief, we read the promises of God in the Bible. These are things we can read that can make us to know that we don't need to have negative thoughts, because all the promises God had for us is in the Bible. It can help us to reprogram our mind when we know that the negative ways we thought before is not how we need to think now. We can continue, and we should continue to go on to have positive thoughts. Reading really reprograms the mind, and the more we read something, the more it gets instilled into our mind, and that helps us to see it as something that we can now hold and have for ourselves. So we read positive things that can allow us to think positive about ourselves as it reprograms our mind the more we read it. You can take on positive books that can make you think, yes, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, and God loves me, so I should love myself, and I should not treat myself in a harsh way. I should treat myself in a loving way, and my thoughts matter, so I will go on to improve them. And then the last thing that we could do to reprogram our minds and have positive thoughts is positive affirmations. Positive affirmations is a great way for us to reprogram our mind for positivity and to rehearse what we want our mind to now think. So we say it to ourselves like, I am beautiful, I am successful. We keep saying that over and over to ourselves. And as we say that, we reprogram our mind for positivity, we reprogram our mind for success, we reprogram our mind for everything we want in our lives. And then from then we can take action. From then we eliminate diseases. We lower the chances of all these things happening to us. Just to summarize the 3 things that we can do to counteract negative thoughts, which is mindfulness and meditation, reading the promises of God, reading positive things that can help us to reprogram our mind, and also positive affirmations that can help us to reprogram our mind. The summary is, don't say anything to yourself that you don't want to happen, because our thoughts are so powerful. Thoughts is destiny. What we say to ourselves is eventually what happened. God has given us the power where there's life and death in the power of our tongue, and that's just what we say to ourselves, never mind to other people. So we have to modulate and guide and protect what we say to ourselves, because that's what's going to happen in the future. So we really have to make a conscious effort of that and make sure that we're looking after our mind and loving our mind and accepting it and helping it to grow. Positivity helps things to grow. There have been studies done where there was rice that was put in jars. Positive things were said to one jar, negative things were said to another jar, and another jar was neglected. So there were 3 jars of rice. And what happened at the end? The positive jar, the rice was beautiful in there. It grew really well. It was beautiful to look at. The negative one, it was moldy. It was going bad. And it was black, and the rice had completely gone bad. The one that was neglected was even worse than the one that was said negative things to. It's the water in the rice jars that was actually being affected by the words. Our body is 70% water. Water listens to us, and water is a vibration. Our voice, what we say, is a vibration. So we have to just really focus and make sure that we say only positive things to ourselves. Our thoughts matter. Our thoughts are our destiny. We also have to remember that we are not our thoughts. And because we are not our thoughts, we can actually change them. So when you do have negative thoughts, that thought is not you, and you can change it. Like if I have a negative thought, oh my God, I can't do that. You can catch yourself in the moment and change that and say, actually, I can. And not associate yourself too closely to your thoughts unless they're positive ones. Then you can hold them tight. If it's a negative thought, you don't even hold it. Let it go. If it's a positive thought, like God loves me, hold that thought tight, because that is a true one. The negative ones are not true. They're just something we've told ourselves, something we believed from maybe childhood because of things that other people have said to us. It's time for us to create a new voice for ourselves by saying positive things to ourselves, by incorporating the affirmations into our routines that allows us to basically go on to be successful and be amazing people and be healthy and be happy. Also, 95% of the thoughts we think are the same thoughts we thought yesterday. So changing your thoughts is something that's going to take quite a lot of effort. It's about being conscious and present when your thoughts are there. So when you have a thought, you need to evaluate, is this positive or is this negative? And if it's negative, you have to quickly say the positive one straight after. So it's a process. And eventually, if you continue to change your thoughts on a daily basis, your thoughts will become positive, then your actions will change, your health will change, everything changes once you change your mind. Everything starts from the mind. So with that knowledge, we have to use everything we know to create the best lives for ourselves and go on to be happy, healthy and successful. So yeah, that's it for today. I just wanted to come on here and share why our thoughts matter. It's our destiny. And what you want your destiny to be is what your thoughts need to become. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you got something from it today. As always, follow your purpose, be a light in this world, and I'm sending you lots of love and peace.